I'm here in Iran, where the government is preparing to break out of the nuclear deal even further. Just a couple days ago, Iran said that it had broken through the stockpile limit placed upon it by its 2015 nuclear deal with world powers. That means that it's gone beyond the 300 kilogram limit that it had for its supply of low enriched uranium. That uranium is enriched to under 3.67%. That means that it's strong enough to be used in a nuclear power reactor, but it can't be used for weapons grade purposes. Now, Iranian President Hassan Rouhani has said that by Sunday, Iran will begin to enrich uranium at any level that it wants. It's unclear what level it will enrich uranium at, but any enrichment of uranium higher than 3.67 narrows the 1 year window analysts say Iran would need to have enough fissile material together to build a nuclear weapon. This puts Europe in a really tight position. Europe has been saying that it wants to save the nuclear deal with world powers. Europe has called on Iran to continue to abide by the terms of the deal, but Iran increasingly has said that it won't, citing the maximalist pressure campaign by the US government under President Donald Trump. All this began about a year ago when President Trump pulled the US out of the nuclear deal with world powers. It then engaged in a maximalist campaign of sanctions against Iran. Those sanctions have included targeting its incredibly important oil industry, as well as sanctioning high-level members of the Iranian government, including its supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Now, this puts Europe, as I said, in an incredibly difficult position. Europe is trying to save the deal. It's come up with a plan called Instex, which it says will allow Iran to trade goods to Europe in exchange for other goods from Europe. And it stops individual companies in Europe from being paid directly by Iran. However, the US has said that it's willing to potentially sanction this vehicle. And you have to look at it from the perspective of private businesses as well. Is a business willing to take that chance to go ahead and do business with Iran and perhaps get itself locked out of the US financial system, as well as get locked out of the US dollar market? That's a risk that a lot of international companies said they're not willing to take, as we saw Boeing and Airbus pull out $1 billion deals with Iran immediately after the US withdrawal from the deal. What happens next remains unclear. Europe continues to say that it wants to try to save the deal, but with the US maximalist campaign, it seems increasingly unlikely that it can. I'm Jon Gambrell for the Associated Press in Tehran, Iran.